Hello everyone, welcome to C# for Beginners. I'm Sivan and this is episode 1 of our series where we will learn C# programming from scratch. Today we are diving into what C# is, why it's awesome for beginners and how to set up your coding environment on Windows. And we will also write a hello world program. Whether you are new or an experienced programmer, this is a right place for you. Let's get started. So let's look into what is C#. C# is a programming language created by Microsoft, and this programming language is used to build all kinds of apps like websites, desktop applications, games with Unity, or even cross-platform mobile applications that can run on Android, iOS, desktop applications, and others. It's a beginner-friendly language with readable code, and it is easy to understand as well. And mainly it's backed by Microsoft's .NET framework and has a huge community. Let's look into why C#. Firstly, it's a beginner-friendly language, easier to learn and a readable language. Second of all, you can use C# to target multiple platforms and applications like web applications, mobile applications, and game development. It is created by Microsoft and it's supported by Microsoft and runs on the .NET platform. It has a huge community and always has a huge demand. Next, let's look into setting up the development environment. I'm using Windows for this tutorial, and at the time of the recording we have .NET 9 as the latest .NET framework available, and .NET 10 is on the pre-release. So to download it, just do a search on download .NET 9 and go to this link, .NET link, and download .NET 9 and install it. I have already done it, so I'll not do it now, but basically you just download it and install it. Next of all, you can use Visual Studio for the coding, which you can just go into this website and then download Visual Studio, and there you go. You could just use this Visual Studio for that, or I prefer using the Rider, so you could just go to Rider, which is one of the JetBrains product, and search for Rider download and go to this website and download this. So for this tutorial we will be using Rider to set up the project and run the project. At this point I assume you have already installed either Visual Studio or Rider. If not, then go back and install the either Rider or Visual Studio or any other IDE of your preference. Then click on the new solution. It may be a little bit different on Visual Studio, but the same concept applies. So click on the new solution and then you should see a screen like this. So left hand side will give you what type of the project you are interested in creating, and then right hand side gives you the configuration of a project. So at this moment we are interested in creating a console application. So click on the console application, give your solution a name. So we will just give it a hello world, and then choose your directory where you want your projects to be. I'll be changing it to be something else, tutorials and projects. Select it, and then target framework. As I told earlier, you have .NET 9 as the latest, so we'll be choosing that. If you are working for older version of the .NET framework, then you will need to choose full framework, and then the latest available for you will be .NET 4.8. But let's look into .NET 9. So we'll be clicking that, and the languages you have a couple of options: C#, F#, or VB, but we will be choosing C# for now. And then we're not going to add Docker file or anything. We will leave other options as it is and click on create. Once the application is successfully created, you should see a screen like this. Let's look into what the panels are on the Rider. If you are not using Rider, then it will be the similar concept for Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. So this panel, which is going to be called a Solution Explorer. So you're clicking on the Explorer, and then it displays what the files are for your solution or a project. And if you this top level is called a solution, and inside the solution it's called a project. So at the moment I only have one project for the solution, but it is possible to have multiple projects inside a solution. And then if you look into the top bar, you have a couple of other options. Basically these two options are highly used. This one is debug or running. If you want to build your project, there's this option, build solution, or Ctrl+B, depending upon how you have set up your shortcut. So if you expand this solution explorer, you will see one file at the moment, program.cs, and if you double click on that, the content of the file is displayed on the middle tab, and at the moment it looks like this, console.writeLine. Let's just try to build it and see what happens. So I've clicked on the debug and a small screen should pop up, and as said earlier, a console application, since it's a console application, console appears, and in the console we are saying hello world from this statement. Since you have already seen the program running, let's change a couple of things. But before we do that, let's look into the project structure in the Solution Explorer or the Explorer itself. So right click on the solution and then open in Explorer. If I have to bring this over here, the project looks like this. The hello world, this is the project we have created, and this is the folder the hello world project sits on. So let's go inside it, and then you will see a structure like this. This sln file, hello world.sln. sln is called a solution, and if you double click on a solution, then you will see a structure like this. At the moment, this sln is displayed on the root of here. Let's go back to this, and then inside the solution there's another folder called hello world. If we do go back to it, we would see a csproj, and csproj is called csap project, and then this csap project is a project which is displayed in this label, and we have a program.cs which is displayed here. And if we go back, you will see object. So for all the projects, as you build it, an object file is created, and similarly you will see a bin. Bin is binary, and inside that you would either see debug or release depending upon the mode of the build you have done. And if you go inside the debug, currently it's prefixing by whatever your .NET framework is. In our case it's .NET 9. Go inside the .NET 9 and you will see a couple of files or DLLs and exes provided. Let's look into the structure of this. First of all, we have hello world.dll. It's a DLL created by the .NET itself, and hello world.exe. Now since it's a console application, you can double click the application and run it. That's why we have an exe. So let's double click on this, and a console should pop up and close as soon as it opens, because we don't have a code to stop it. So this is normally a structure of a console application, and in a real world application, each application will rely upon lots and lots and lots of DLLs. As you can see, this top line is a comment and gives you a URL for more information. At the moment, if you are looking into or comparing with a previous version of a .NET project, then this will look a little bit different. So let's click on that link, which I have already done, and let's open it. So this is what it has to say. Starting .NET 6, the project template for new CSAP console apps generates the following code in the program.cs. So it's just a syntactic sugar. It's hiding all the other things that goes. But if you were working on a project before .NET 6, then this is the structure of the file. Let's go back and copy the whole thing, and we will replace the content, and basically it should still work. Let's change the namespace of our class to the namespace of our project, which is a hello world. So I'll be changing that to be hello world. And let's run the project, or let's build and run, which is basically debug. Debug does both build and debugging of the project. And as said earlier, hello world is appearing on the console, which is equivalent to what it was there previously. Now let's change the message to display something like welcome to C# programming episode 1. By the way, all I'm doing is writer is suggesting some text. Depending upon the context, I'm just pressing tab to autocomplete it. Now let's debug it. For this time, I'll use a keyboard shortcut of F5. At the moment, it's building and debugging, and our message has changed. Okay, so this is episode 1. In the next episode, we will look into more advanced concepts like variables and other things. Stay tuned.